Hi everyone. Waving hand. In today's video, we're going to replace all 5 filters of a reverse osmosis water system, step by step. I'll explain what each filter does, how often you should change it, and why it's so important to keep your system clean and maintained. If you've noticed that your water tastes a bit strange, that the flow is slower than usual, or that it's been more than a year since the last replacement, then this video is for you. Before we start, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss future maintenance guides like this one. Now, let's begin by understanding how a reverse osmosis system actually works. A reverse osmosis system purifies your tap water through multiple stages of filtration. Each filter plays a unique role: one captures sediment, another removes chlorine, and others take care of microscopic contaminants. Together, they remove up to 99% of impurities, giving you clean, safe, and great-tasting water. Most home RO systems have 5 stages: a sediment filter, 2 carbon filters, the RO membrane, and a final post-carbon filter that polishes the water before it reaches your faucet. This combination makes reverse osmosis one of the most effective filtration systems you can have at home. So, why do these filters need to be replaced regularly? Over time, each filter becomes saturated with everything it removes: dirt, chlorine, metals, and even bacteria. When that happens, the system can't filter properly anymore. The water quality drops, the taste changes, and in some cases, harmful bacteria can start growing inside the housings. Replacing the filters keeps your water safe, extends the life of the RO membrane, and prevents expensive repairs later. Think of it as regular maintenance for your health. Fresh filters mean fresh water. Now that we know why this is so important, let's prepare the system before we start changing anything. The first thing you need to do is turn off the water supply. Close the feed water valve that connects to the system, and also close the valve on the storage tank. Then, open the RO faucet and let any remaining water flow out. This step releases pressure from the system, so when we open the housings, water doesn't splash everywhere. It's simple, but it makes the process much cleaner and easier. Now that the system is ready, we can start replacing the filters, one by one. Let's start with the first stage, the sediment filter. This is the white filter that sits right at the beginning of the system. Its job is to catch visible particles like sand, rust, dirt, and dust before they reach the rest of the filters. If this filter gets clogged, the water pressure drops and the other filters can't do their work efficiently. That's why it's usually replaced every 6 months, or every 3 to 4 months if your tap water is very hard or dirty. To replace it, simply unscrew the first housing with the filter wrench, remove the old filter, rinse the inside of the housing, and insert the new one in the same position. Hand tighten the housing, and then use the wrench gently to secure it, but don't over-tighten it. Now let's move on to the second stage, the carbon block filter. This one removes chlorine, chemicals, and organic compounds that can cause bad taste and odors. More importantly, it protects the RO membrane from chlorine damage, because chlorine can ruin the membrane if it reaches it. You should replace this filter about every 6 months as well. When you remove it, you'll probably notice that it's darker in color. That's all the absorbed impurities. Clean the housing with warm water, place the new carbon filter inside, and close it tightly. Next is the third stage, the second carbon filter, also called the precarbon or carbon GAC filter. This one gives extra protection, removing any remaining chlorine or chemical residues before the water reaches the membrane. It ensures that the RO membrane only receives clean water, free of harmful chemicals. You can replace this one every 6 to 12 months, depending on how often you use the system and your water quality. This stage makes a big difference in the lifespan of your RO membrane, so don't skip it. Now we reach the heart of the system, stage 4, the reverse osmosis membrane. This is the most important filter in your entire setup. The membrane is what actually performs the reverse osmosis process. It removes microscopic contaminants that no other filter can. It blocks heavy metals, nitrates, fluoride, bacteria, and other dissolved solids that can't be seen with the naked eye. If your other filters are doing their job, the the membrane can last 2 to 3 years. But if you forget to change the pre-filters, the membrane will clog and wear out much faster. To replace it, open the horizontal housing. It's usually located on top of the 3 vertical filters. Gently pull out the old membrane using pliers if necessary, and insert the new one, making sure it's fully seated. Check that the rubber O-rings are clean and properly aligned before closing the cap. This ensures no leaks and proper pressure. Once the membrane is replaced, we move to stage 5, the post-carbon or polishing filter. This is the final stage before the water reaches your faucet. Its job is to improve the taste and freshness of the purified water, removing any remaining odors or flat taste caused by the storage tank. It's usually an inline filter mounted horizontally at the top of the system. Replacing it is very simple. Disconnect the tubing, remove the old filter, and install the new one in the same direction of water flow. Follow the arrow on the filter. This final stage gives your water that crisp, clean, refreshing taste that reverse osmosis is known for. The post-carbon filter should be replaced every 12 months, even if you don't use the system every day. This keeps your water tasting fresh and ensures the last step of filtration is always effective. Now that all 5 filters are replaced, it's time to flush the system and check that everything is working properly. First, open the feed water valve slowly, allowing the system to start filling with water again. Keep an eye on the housings and connections, make sure there are no leaks or drips anywhere. If you see a few small air bubbles or hear gurgling, don't worry, that's completely normal after changing filters. Let the system fill for about 10 to 15 minutes. Once the storage tank is full, open the RO faucet and drain the entire first tank of water completely. This first batch will help flush out any carbon dust or small particles from the new filters. After the tank empties, close the faucet and let the system refill again. From this point on, your water is ready to drink, fresh, clean, and perfectly filtered. Now, let's go over a few important maintenance tips to keep your system working for years. White heavy checkmark tip 1, always replace your filters on time. Mark the replacement date on each housing or set a reminder on your phone. It's easy to forget, but it makes a big difference. White heavy checkmark tip 2, each time you replace filters, clean the housings with warm water. Never use harsh detergents, a simple rinse keeps them fresh and prevents bacterial buildup. White heavy checkmark tip 3, if your water pressure feels lower than normal, check the pre-filters or the tank's air bladder. Low pressure is often a sign of a clogged filter or an empty tank. White heavy checkmark tip 4, always use quality filters compatible with your system. Cheap replacements can leak, fit poorly, or fail to purify the water properly. White heavy checkmark tip 5, if you're not sure which filter to buy, check the model of your RO system. The reference number is usually printed on the label or the manual. And that's it. Your reverse osmosis system is now fully serviced, running smoothly, and ready to provide crystal clear water again. If this video helped you, give it a thumbs up, subscribe bell, and share it with someone who also has an RO system at home. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Droplet.